Okay, ready? I can't hear them.
Almost there.
What?
Almost there.
You're ready to go.
Yeah,
It was ready. All you had to push was go live.
I know, but it gives us
It
a
got
circle
the
of
circle
death.
of death.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Great.
Gotta hate that.
You want to get him back to the meeting?
You can toss it here when it's done.
I will bring it over.
It's tasty.
Toss it. I'll close. I'm wearing glasses. That'd be all right.
Oh, wow. Problem is, I don't have my glasses.
Stick that in here.
We've never had a problem. In 11 years. We've never really had that problem. It's like they start coming in now.
We've had, the days have been here for a while.
All right, you're good
I
to
mean, we've
go.
had them for,
Yeah, we've had problems the last year or so.
All right, we will call the meeting to order.
okay.
All right,
Again.
and roll call.
Judd,
Here.
Ridsdale,
Here.
Fulford,
Present.
Epiceli,
Here.
Bradenburg, Geisler,
Here.
Craig.
A motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I
I skipped
second.
over public comment. Is there any public comment?
Guys, just give them time to unmute, but I don't see anybody. Any public comment?
Nope.
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 Okay. And we move to items of business. Match on Main grant.
We got another one.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty exciting.
Things were just falling into the graces these days, huh?
$50,000 into our downtown.
Very
So,
good.
So what's this? So that's two of them?
yep, the second one.
And then what is the second?
It's at Rose Villa.
Oh, right at the very bottom.
She's gonna,
Redoing it.
I mean, maybe Dean can.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
pretty
yeah,
much
can you
redoing
let
the
us know?
I mean, I think the cool thing is that she's gonna get like stand-up desks and stuff like that,
Okay,
that are adjustable for people and new bedding, new curtains, just come to give it a big face.
It's 11 years old. It's due for a little bit of fix the dents in the drywall, stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
very cool.
Very nice. Thanks
So,
to
yeah,
Paul
that
and the
was-
rest for the help.
Heck, yeah.
So that was, yeah, it was pretty exciting news. So I just wanted to give you guys an update that we were awarded that.
Very good.
Yeah. And, if anybody knows people that might be interested or you talk to anybody, pretty sure there's gonna be another round coming. In, like, well, it'll be a spring award probably. So I think that, people need to get their projects ready. So they're not surprised when it gets here and
Yeah.
if they got something, it's worthwhile, so. It's not that bad of an application, so
Very cool.
$25,000 for
That's a nice
2,500.
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You can drum up something better than that.
I'll be in line,
Yeah.
so. That's all that was.
Awesome. Well, good job.
Thanks.
On to the annual report.
Did we ever motion on the minutes? I missed that. We were talking and. You and you?
Since we were, no one's here, so we just did it.
Okay, got it.
I mean, like, we were here last. Yeah, we will.
Sorry, I missed that.
That's all right.
So as part of our RRC program, that's not a bad thing. We're probably supposed to do one anyway, but we annually are a little bit better at it now. Reviewing what the planning commission did last year. So I kind of put it in a little report, talk about what happened, what things you did, what worked, what didn't. And then, we also have to review the master plan. So this is kind of just a little draft of, you know, what the annual report would look like. And then we can pull the master plan out and put that separately, or we can do them together, it doesn't matter. But I guess, did you guys, I mean, are there any questions? Do you want to change the annual report? We just kind of we went through the minutes. Had Kim go through the minutes and she came up with the things that are in here. Those are, I mean, really didn't have a lot of action items last year, but we did want to add.
We
in
did
your-
a lot of,
If we wanted to update the training, because I knew that you had went to a bunch that really wasn't, without like pulling out the
yeah,
emails, I wasn't.
and it wasn't the MML, so it was different.
Okay.
It was the Michigan Association of Planning. I brought my study stuff, you guys.
So we can put that, you know, we want to add that you did go to those. And
Yeah.
was there any other trainings that we missed?
No, but this was about 6 classes,
That's a one,
6
yeah.
or 7, that was a
That's
big
the,
one. Zoning and planning.
oh, isn't it like there's a, like you get a certification at the end?
Yeah,
Citizen planner? No, that's
No.
not the citizen planner one. I did that one, it was on. Okay, so we'll add that training to it and talk about the training that she took.
Didn't we do a couple of things in meetings that we didn't have much that we talked about? Like hypothetical land
Did we do
use
that this year?
situation, I think, was this
Yeah,
year.
we did a lot of that.
Yeah,
we did.
last year.
We
Look, I'll
We talked
I'll
about
see.
dog park, we talked about other things. Yep.
did.
The parts.
That was reviewed.
Splash pad.
We talked about like, the, potential for, like, what we had drawn up for, Dollar General going into the dog wash. We kind of reviewed that whole thing.
Okay.
Like, as a training.
Oh, I'll write that down, because that will look good.
yeah, because you, you went through and said, what is something that we would probably want to know more about? Could we
Okay.
go over things or, and the Dollar General was a good one because they were like precise.
Yeah, so we just went through and did that, so, okay. I'll look back in put that in here appropriately, so. I thought we had variances last year, but it was actually the previous fall. I'm like.
It
oh,
was?
Yeah,
The, Kayla's and.
it wasn't in 2022. I know, is that funny? I thought it was in 20.
2022 flu.
It apparently did, because I was like, it was not in there, so, yeah.
Huh.
But I think, you know, the master plan review does not have to happen all in one night, it can happen in a couple of nights, you know. But I think that it is important that we all kind of understand what the tasks are and who's responsible for doing what, and instead of them just being tasks, what kind of things can we do to accomplish some of these things?
Right.
So that's what I need from you guys, is to tell me what's important on those things. And this is just a section of the master plan. This is just the, you know, the tasks and the responsibles things. So there is a couple charts in the master plan, you know, goals and objectives, and, you know, we could go through some of those sections, but it is important that you read that and know what's in there. Because if we don't keep that up to date, then it doesn't follow with everything else we're doing. And it makes it hard for me to point back to if I'm writing a grant or something. If I try to point back to, well, you know, the master plan has been reviewed and this is in there, you know. Or if we, you know, if everybody's saying, hey, you know, we should have pickleball. Then, you know, maybe when we review the master plan, we should talk about pickleball, and that's just hypothetical. So those kind of, we want to make sure that we do, like, really think about these charts, because that's what guides what we're doing.
So one of the things I've learned in the last 2 months, right, really with the Spark grant is we weren't prepared, and Paula and her team have done a wonderful job of getting that Spark grant. What did you have, 6 weeks to get that out?
Barely.
It's due today, it's due
It's due
tonight
today,
at midnight.
I'm like
Right,
barely.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah,
To pull it together, right, and from nothing, right? So what I would like this committee to do is use this document use the parks and recs, right? Use some other, and start capital, yes, all
improvement
those,
plan.
and start putting together. I'm gonna say more detailed. Things so that the next time a Spark grant or some other grant comes up and says, okay, you got 6 weeks to do it,
We already have it.
we already have it. We already have it. There's still gonna be a lot that has to be done, but. There's gonna be, okay, we wanna do something in McClintock, okay, we've got these things that we've talked about that the planning commission has put together to a certain degree. Right, ready to go. We wanna do something in Bait Scout, okay, we've got these things, right? We wanna do a dog park, well, we've talked about this other, right, and I'm just throwing out, right? But we have ideas put together, you're not gonna be able to do pricing, not gonna be able to do.
But you
Yeah,
could
those
get
are-
your public input, which is huge.
Right, exactly,
I mean, that's what's
Yes.
huge for me. A lot of these places, when I write these, they go, well, how did you engage the public? And how did your plans,
Mhm.
incorporate what they told you? And that's kind of hard, I mean, for us, for this last year, it was easy. Because we just did that park and rec plan last year, although we added a few things to McClintock that were not in the original park thing, but, we have had ice skating before, so adding that rink wasn't like way out of the realm or whatever, but things like that, if we knew specifically that we wanted an ice skating rink at McClintock Park, we could have got a ton of public comment, and those are the things, the costs and that kind of stuff, I need the professionals to do that. I mean, somebody else has to
Yeah.
gather those for me. But like the public input, that's what I need you guys to do. If you have an idea, let's get public input on it. If it's like something we want to move forward.
And Paul and I have been talking to the planning commission, making it more proactive for a year now, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, and I've even said, yeah, it clicked with the Spark grant.
Right.
Right, it just kind of was like, okay, that's the kind of things we need to have ready to go for Paula and her team, so she's not struggling to get things figured out at that point, right? There's enough work to do without doing that initial stuff that we should be doing.
So that leads into the capital improvement plan that we will,
Yep.
the planning commission by statute is required to approve the city's, review it and make
Approve it.
suggestions on the city's capital improvement plan. So what, as we roll into the capital improvement plan, we take the master plan, the park and rec plan and some of those things, and we pull some projects out and we throw them into the capital improvement plan to be funded. So now they're kind of in the hopper, right? So if there's something that's within like 6 years that you're thinking and some of these things that we want to do, it's time to roll them towards the capital improvement plan or they don't get funded. If we want to get them funded, it's really helpful because that helps me prioritize when I see grants come through. Does that make sense? I mean, those are the hard things that, sometimes I don't get that. I don't get what I need, and then all of a sudden it's like, here comes your grant. And I'm like, okay, guys, I know you kind of want to do this, but, and I mean, we just got noticed that we didn't get the river grant, which, I mean, but it doesn't mean we can't apply again, but it's something that now it's time to go back, because I said all along, this is just a grant application. We don't know if we're gonna get this money. But now that that's on the docket or in front of us, now we need to go back and go, okay, is this something we still really want? Where does it fall at in the planning? And, do we want to seek more public input on it? How do you want to move forward with this? Or does it just fall off?
And I keep using this as an example. One of the things, and one of those is a Wi-Fi for the city. I'm not sure that's needed anymore
Right.
because of everybody has phones that have
Everybody has it,
5G and who cares, right? Now, I may be wrong. I just use that as an
And
example.
that's where public input would come in and be.
That would be, yes,
But,
exactly.
and
Mhm.
it is really a real example, and I
Yeah.
have had some contacts from all these other communities that are trying to get support for a broadband application, because there's a lot of funding for that right now. And they've asked me to, does the city want to participate? And honestly, we have good internet options here. I don't know how we would benefit any further from, I mean, I just don't, it's here. People just now have to pay for it and get it moved to their house.
Mhm.
So, but that is different than, so the townships, maybe they don't have it, and these people that aren't far from us that don't have Daystar. I mean, my daughter doesn't have WOW, Daystar, front,
My
it's-
parents don't have anything.
yeah, and so it's not available there. And so those people drive into town and park in front of our library and use the Wi-Fi.
And
You know?
Subway, there's been so many people.
And
Oh,
so, I mean,
Subway.
those are, so as far as, I mean, you still need to think about that Wi-Fi, because is that something, could we
That's
have a
kind
hotspot?
Yeah, is it gonna
that-
bring in the country people?
Which would be more, no, but if we had a hotspot that would attract people,
Yeah.
then, yeah. So, I mean, those are some things that are, still, but I think our needs have changed on that Wi-Fi thing,
Oh my God,
just in the, what, 4 or
Sorry.
5 years since we did that.
Right, yeah, 4 or 5 years ago, it was like, wow, that would be great to have, so people can walk around and get.
Right, but I
get
think
signal.
since we got Daystar in the
Technology's
area, we've had less of a need for it here, cause it's been better, a lot better.
We could get one of those little big B kiosks
Oh, there you go.
that drive up, you know what I mean? They drop them off on a semi. And then you just put Wi-Fi around.
There you go. Nice.
I'm always down for coffee.
There you go.
I'm sure immigrants would love that.
So, I mean, those are the important things, is that as a planning commission, to really start focusing on some, prioritizing 4 or 5 things that we want to do that are in our plan, or do we want to take them out?
Come up with new ones. I
Yeah,
mean, I think the list that we have is really good, right? We can't imagine there's
I
gonna
mean,
be
things happen.
any new ones, but
Things evolve.
Yeah, some of these,
Think
I've been
about it.
on this for quite a while, some of these I've seen every year, just said continuous.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever done for it. Is it necessary or is it not?
Mhm.
And. But what do you think would be a good plan to go, like number 1 through 5 or something, 1 good, 5 is bad, or? Just,
Yeah, I mean,
just kind of take this consensus from all of us, or?
so this is the task, is have training made available to city council, planning commission, and board of appeals, so that as to be prepared to carry out master plan and ordinance provisions. So, I mean, that's probably one of those that, yep, we always do this, it's a short-term goal, but I mean, you never attain that, right?
well, it's always
There's
changing.
always.
Right, I mean,
people-
so that's it says it's a short-term, goal, but it's really not, it's a forever goal.
Right.
And it's something that, maybe we should say, in our, maybe underneath there, how we're gonna do that, we're gonna track it. We're gonna have parties and give prizes for the committee that gets the most, or the, board member, I mean. But there's things that we could do if we want to encourage those, but each one of these has things like that. And these are kind of this one is out of the master plan. We have these in the economic development and that kind of stuff too, so. I think that, I mean, what is there on a page? Are there 4 pages of it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
5 or 6, yeah.
6.5. So. I mean, is it easier for you guys just to read through them and just say, I don't even know what this means, why is it in here, or, I think this is a good idea, but how do we get there,
Can we bring it up and all make a decision individually, and next month we can go over it?
What, yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want
Can we
to
do
do.
that?
That's easy.
So, yeah, okay.
I think that we should. I mean, this is kind of bringing it to the table, but if we can actually review it and
And if we
talk about what we want to do, same, change,
3 of
add,
us have
take away,
yeah.
yeah.
I think your 1 to 5 is a great idea, rating on.
That way we can go from
I was
there.
thinking like smiley face, sad face.
Well, you can have smiley, and say, and you can have a straight line in the middle.
You can see through it.
When are you taking suggestions for the grant, things we can do?
Always,
I've got one
Always.
right now.
Okay.
How often do we look at painting road lines, stop sign lines, things like that?
and that'd really be a question for Dave, but, at least annually. those should be definitely, looked at.
There are a number of, I noticed there's a number of stop signs in town that don't have that line. One in particular that kind of is always a chore.
Yeah, before you go
Oh.
any further. He's moved on to other business.
Oh.
So-
Let me say,
Making suggestions for grants and I'm.
it was an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painting more,
We actually have the money to do.
painting more lines
They
is
just
one of the
need to be done.
suggestions that I had. Let's put it short.
Wasn't saying it was bad, it just was, just so people know, yeah. So we want to go through the master plan. What else should we be, or do we want to do one at a time?
I would suggest they actually all work together.
I know that,
And
Yeah.
so it's hard for, you don't wanna look at one and then, so I don't know, maybe it would be best to have like. The goals and objectives for each one kind of laid out. And we should be able to cut and paste them into a document or something, so it says goals and objectives and do the master plan, and kind of lay them by each other so that we can see how everything lines up. And then if,
That'd be great.
if something doesn't make sense, then those kind of, does
yeah. no,
that
makes sense.
seem like
Makes
the right
sense.
track?
For sure.
So,
I mean. Just maybe making that the master plan. Hey, we've taken this from what was the master plan, this from Parks and Rec, this from capital improvement, right? We put them together, so now here's our master plan. Am I making sense?
are you trying to say we shouldn't have the other plans or no?
No, I think we do.
Cause there's
Yeah.
some things they want a park and rec plan, they want
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think that. For us, I don't see that it would, not work, but for larger cities, I think that's probably where that becomes complicated, but for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
We are the park and rec, we are the.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. But I think we as a group, whenever we're gonna do it, whenever we're gonna talk about something, we want to know what comes out of the master plan, what comes out of the capital improvement plan. Most of the time,
Right.
right?
And for me, I use the capital improvement plan and the park and rec plan.
Yeah.
Probably a
okay.
lot, and the economic development plan, a lot more than I do the master plan.
Right.
Because I feel like the master plan should drive all of those, but I think that's what we need to make sure of, right?
Yep.
That our master plan is, and that's what, the people, and I'm sure they'll probably do it when we get recertified, but the people at RRC, that's one of the things that they did for us. So one of their people read all of our plans and said, well, in your master plan, you say this, but in your park and rec plan, you ask for this and they're different. They don't jive.
Let's go back to what you said earlier about not having those other documents. I think that what we talked about should replace the master plan.
What do you mean?
So you have Parks and Rec, you have the capital improvement, you have the, right, that
Mhm.
you need for other things, right?
Right,
The master plan should be, okay, here, let's use our example, Wi-Fi. And from Wi-Fi, in the capital improvement plan, we had this, in the Parks and Rec, we had this, and in the other one, we had that, right? 'Cause
Right.
that's- Put it all together, because that's how we're gonna wanna look at it.
I see
right?
what you're saying.
I mean,
Like just for a document for you guys to use.
yeah, but why couldn't that be the master plan?
Well, the problem is the people that made all these rules
Uh-huh,
tell you what has to be in your master plan.
got it, okay,
I think that's the problem.
okay,
But the good thing is they should all talk to each other.
right, no, right,
So each of those other ones is a recipient of the master plan, like a baby of the master plan kind of thing. So the
yeah.
master plan says, we want to improve this. And the park and rec capital improvement plan, the DDA plan, all kind of follow up to the master plan. So it's like the top of the organizational chart.
right.
So
So,
let's look at the master plan, and I like the idea that you said with us looking at master plan, capital improvement and parks. There's a way for us to look at those side by side. And then I like the rating system. Figuring out, you know,
What's most important, what's least important.
but also keeping in mind, you know, do we even need this on here anymore?
So speaking of that one, planning commission decides we don't want to have number X on here, right? Does that have to go to city council for their approval? Or can we just remove things?
I will have to check, but I think the city council does have to
That
approve.
that would be my.
And I
guess.
think they would, like, if you wanna amend your master plan,
Mhm.
then you need to have like a public hearing, which is no big deal.
No big deal. Right.
We can do all that.
We're just the ones to do all the detailed discussion and then we
Right.
recommend council.
Right,
Or you, and you could say like, all right, this year, we recommend that, you know, we kind of take all these changes and that, you know, they go to the council and everybody talks about what we wanna remove or not, or whatever. I mean, so you wanna do it in like one big chunk, not like,
Yeah.
this
one
week
with
we're gonna
the-
remove that one, have public, then, you know, so you kind of wanna go through it, and there is every 5 years we go through the master plan, but this is just kind of talking about your action table. And we could make like some kind of, you know, in our annual report, we can say, this year we reviewed this and we don't really think this works anymore, so when we do the plan amendment, we'd like to have this removed.
right. Mhm.
There's something like that.
Yep, perfect.
And fabulous.
Do you guys wanna look at a couple of these tonight, or what did you wanna? No, maybe.
I don't.
Okay, good,
I will do it by myself,
all right.
because I gotta Caesar this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So, we're on to others, Mr. Chair,
Believe we are on the other items.
all righty.
So now you, Scott, go ahead with your.
Stop sign lines.
Why, thank
I
you.
know, you already got most of your steam out,
So,
but
No,
about a grant, and
Well,
I'm like, so I'm falling right into it.
let
It's
me blow some more steam back under the.
fine. Wait, he's going on to others.
Yes, I had another idea. The reason why I was asking about, I've noticed some of the stop signs do not have the thick white strips.
Yep, I'll have Dave tuck it.
A little more detailing. There are a couple of problematic ones. There is one in particular that's Meridian Road and Round Lake Road. It's further, the stop sign is further up and it's like a triangle.
I can help you with that
And
one.
every single time, with the
So-
exception of maybe twice, you go north.
You can tell you're new.
And yeah, you go north and then somebody is 30 feet past the stop sign and you have to do this big bell bottom kind of
It's been that
zigzag.
way forever.
There's never been paint there from my
I know,
knowledge.
so I'm gonna tell you
It
what.
won't work.
I'm gonna tell you why. So that little intersection is under the jurisdiction of 3 authorities.
Mhm.
Oh, how lovely is that?
The city of Langsberg, Clinton County and Shiawassee County. That's the dividing line for the counties.
Mhm.
So one side is Victor Township, one side is the city of Langsberg. Actually, it's 4
Yeah,
jurisdictions. then.
it would be 4.
Yeah,
And
and
Clinton.
Clinton
Shiawassee,
County
Victor,
and, yeah, so, and there isn't the white lines there because those are for the crosswalk. Like,
oh, isn't there a stop?
There's
Right,
no
but you know-
crosswalk there either.
no, but there wouldn't be.
Right, yeah, yeah, it's the same, yeah.
I'm thinking crosswalk lines, okay, we paint,
Oh.
we put in the city proper, wherever there's a crosswalk, we paint those. Whatever's required at the stop sign, I would have to check, cause I don't know what's required at the stop sign. But if it's not us, and it's Clinton County, we can talk to the, you know what I mean, we can, it's not like we can't find out what
Yeah.
should be there.
Right.
So, but I agree with you, there is a problem there, there's always been a problem there.
We had a short conversation
That
about
one, you
it.
just, if you're driving, you just go to the left.
Yeah,
and
Mr.
down.
Geisler suggested like a roundabout, but you got dump trucks, fire
Oh,
trucks,
geez.
police, all that going through there.
Then
my
we do
thought-
need a grant if you wanna put a roundabout.
Right.
My thought was,
I don't think there's
it'll
even
cost
room.
$100 to lay a thick white strip where most stop signs have a white strip. To show this is where you stop.
Which seems
And
simple
people
enough.
just blow
but-
right through that intersection and they're right in the middle of no man's land. And you gotta go around them and look at them funny and they're going, what did I do?
Half the town is, a lot of old farmers set in their ways, and I guarantee it won't.
It's
If
like
you put the
constant
light-
rolling.
There's
That's
still
like-
that part.
That's a perfect example of a, the whole thing is a big.
Still don't do it, but the
Yeah.
problem is there are rules. MDOT has rules, you know, and we follow those. And I'm assuming the county and they're following those. I feel like there used to be some something in the middle there, and that disappeared at one point.
Well, yeah,
But-
'cause
Like you could
that's when you
almost
pick
have,
up your pace, your
Right.
speed
you
going on.
could almost
tunnel.
have the officers just sit there and write citations, because nobody stops at that stop sign. It's a roll, I'm gonna keep on going.
Well, unless somebody's coming.
Cause nobody knows.
And it's still rolling.
Yeah, that's.
Or you get the people that are turning left and stay all the way over to the right, because that's what they think you're supposed to do, and then.
It's
So
a
that's-
very bad,
Unfortunately, the problem is, there's not been a lot of crashes there, and I mean, that's how those things get changed,
Yeah.
is the crash data.
now
And
we
the
know.
Contact,
There's so much room that we just do whatever we want.
so we can contact the road commissions and figure out who's in charge and what's supposed to be there. I'm sure Dave or Dan, either one will know what's supposed to be there.
So what happens if there's an accident? Somebody pulls out a Meridian? Does Dan respond? Does Clinton County respond? Or does it matter? Does it depend
Well,
on
it's-
the person?
That's a good point.
The person that dials 911 is on the Clinton County side.
Okay.
No, and this is not a joke.
I get it.
It's not, or the Shiawassee County side, because if it's on the Clinton County side, we'll get the call in about 8 minutes.
Mhm.
Because it's gotta go through their dispatch, and then their dispatch has to call our dispatch, and then there's like a 4 or 5 minute
Yep.
delay in there, and then when it gets to us, it'll be about 8 minutes before we're notified. Except for the passerby, they'll
Right,
call us first.
Right.
I mean, we had 4 or 5 phone calls and people stopping in here about a deer out by the high school. It's like, that's not even in our jurisdiction, but okay.
Mhm.
But no, it is a really weird situation, but I'm sure there is a solution. And if there's supposed to be a white line there, we can probably find out who's supposed to put it there. If not, I'll let you know next month.
I do think the proper solution would be a circle. I'm not sure that it's feasible. I'm
We
not
don't
sure-
have enough traffic. for that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure we have enough room. I'm not, all those questions.
Right, I'm sure that we don't have
Yeah.
enough traffic to warrant it.
Yeah.
For stuff, I mean,
I just thought the simplicity of painting
Enough accidents.
a white line so people know, oh, I'm supposed to stop.
Mhm.
Very rare you see somebody actually stop at the line. Like,
every once in a while you see somebody stop right in the middle. And they try to
Because
make
they're
sure
turning
nobody else can get through.
No, I see that about 80-90% of the time. And I have to slow down, go around, out, and then back in my north.
See, my dad would
Now, if
always,
there's nobody coming, you just cut in front.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
Yeah, no,
my
that's
dad
right.
would like come this way, so you just,
I've actually did that before.
Full speed.
or coming out of K's, you just go straight up Meridian.
It's fine.
And that's truly where the city and the country meet.
Yeah.
I thought
definitely.
I'd ask about it because, hey, I'm the newbie and it's a frustrating corner because I go north there frequently.
If I were you, I'd just avoid that intersection.
Go West Street.
Go west.
It's a huge.
West Street.
Go to West Street, you're good.
I never go north coming east. I mean, I go north going west, but it's just an easy right turn.
That's how to get to my parents. So growing up, I was doing
Yeah.
that 10 times a day, so
Mhm.
I know all the little tricks and.
But that would also go under, beautification of the city, like improvements, like painting the lines, making it
Mhm.
clean and tidy and whatnot.
I think the light right there needs to be fixed too, that's facing the sign.
Where? At that
At
corner,
the, where the country meets the city meets the country, yeah, I think that light is,
the light is out.
I don't know, it looks busted or something.
See, I'm usually going that way
I
when it's
know.
dark, so I don't see
I
it.
think it's the one on the left, but I don't remember, I haven't been that way in a while. Honestly. Yeah, I haven't been going to Firefly Ridge, so I'm just going that way.
So that house that burnt down, just a throw on question, there's still that stuff that's been upside down and laying in a pile for what, 3 months now?
Yeah, we tried to work with the guy and let him get his stuff out of there. Well, that didn't work out. So, I'm pretty sure Dan is starting to write tickets
Like the
again,
one
but
downtown,
yeah.
it's been so fun.
Yeah, we'll probably have
It's been
to,
6, yeah, it's just a pile of stuff there, upside down tarp and.
we'll probably
stuff.
have to give him some citations again and. Where-
We just approved taxing for the rest of the cleanup that the city did to get ready for the springtime festival.
That's one of the parts in the plan there. I noticed, I was just reading through, just ordinances for people to keep their yards and things in order.
Yeah, those, I
That's a
mean,
good plan. It's There are a lot of real nice neighborhoods that you have to pay a fee and you've got to have your lawn like such and such. I'm not saying it's gotta be that, but
Right,
if you leave things unkempt, it just makes, it degrades the whole neighborhood.
that's true. And there is some of that that definitely needs to be addressed, for sure. And those are the tough calls.
Yeah.
I
Um,
live in East Lansing.
Whatever happened with the, I think it was in my place, some new people there on Oakland were saying, no, when it goes off of it. Somebody had a bunch of trailers all over the yard. They complained about it. Nothing ever happened.
By Josie Lane.
Whatever it is, yeah, it's the one that's right. You go West Road, Oakland is what I'm on, then there's that one that has a little turn.
Josie.
Yeah.
The campers and trailers.
Yeah,
were back
boats,
there.
campers and trailers and all that stuff.
I think
I
that's,
thought you guys went and looked and there wasn't,
I mean, there was just like a camp, I mean,
I think I
Obviously,
remember
when they
bringing
took
that to,
pictures.
yeah, to city council, because I told you guys we had that complaint, but.
it never was.
Are the
really-
ordinance against having things in your yard or?
Well, we
Or not.
did one 2-3 years ago, didn't we? The ordinance about the trailers and.
Temporary and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
temporary.
We have some stuff, but it's never been addressed about campers. Or boats, that kind of stuff have not been addressed.
She did bring it up as, like do we wanna discuss it? Do we wanna change it? Do we
It was
wanna
thrown up
make
as
it-
an option, okay.
Yeah, is it something that we wanna pursue in the future as allowing or not allowing or changing or that was discussed?
So that would be the, rather than the master plan, that's the zoning ordinance. And then, so in the zoning ordinance, you could say, you can only park your travel trailer here.
This time. to this
Yeah,
time.
and it has to be in the backyard or, or on the side. So you can, those kind of things you can
Be more
address.
Specific and detailed.
The same thing with like boats and stuff like that. There are things that can be done, and there are other municipalities that have like maintenance codes. They have historical codes for buildings that are historical. You can only have certain kind of windows. Those, I mean, so there's all kinds of, or there's like, you can't have a couch in your front yard. You can't, your trash can has to go back behind your garage, or,
If I remember right, though, with the trailer complaint, we ultimately decided not to take any action on it. Because we don't get a lot of complaints and the person who sent that letter did not name themselves.
Yeah, it was anonymous, that's right.
that's
So-
correct. I mean, I was you guys and the city council.
Street.
But
I
I feel,
remember
I
that
also
being
thought
back
that somebody went out there and looked and that the problem wasn't exactly as it was explained on the letter, but we never had a contact person to follow up with or anything, and no one ever called again.
I did homework. I took a picture and just showed everybody, "Look, this is that, yeah. It was like three,
And
there was
I
a
wrote
boat,
it
a
down.
trailer and something else, 3 things in the yard. It's like, they're gonna complain.
Well, and I feel like that there was just, you guys didn't, there was nothing you found that violated anything.
Yeah, because there was no curbs, so there wasn't an issue there. It was their yard. It was, there was a couple things that we were just like,
I don't even remember which one it was, but I do, I
it
mean,
was all the way down.
You're
at the end,
jogging my
around the corner.
memory.
Very end of it, right before the, like a turnaround. So,
on the right side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last house on the right,
Okay.
Yep.
like where nobody can see it. You have to turn right to see all that.
Okay, got ya.
Yeah.
So,
and then the one across the street had a boat on the road
Yep.
in front of their house. That was it. That was the big,
Wasn't the big thing in that letter noise of a truck?
that was a different one.
Was that a different one?
Yeah,
I think that's across from me,
yeah, that was across from you. That complaint, the truck's in and out all day long.
which by the way,
Odd hours.
No, there's one about a semi.
Semi, it was a semi.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't
down
me.
here.
by the way,
I attempted to bring it in my straight park right along the side there.
I can update, there has been nothing across the street, like no action of any kind at all.
we're supposed to snow this weekend, so.
That's true, but even like when they were doing the lawn stuff, they were just busy, 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 and then when we said, you can't do this. There has been none. Like.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I mean, it's bad, but it's good. Huh?
How did that end up with?
It was,
It's not done yet.
it was between him and the.
I know,
Yeah, so.
I know, I mean, we kind of said.
I've
that's-
seen a couple.
Didn't
of
resolve?
emails. No, it's not I mean,
Mhm.
it's resolving, but it's
Yeah,
not
he's not
resolved.
working out of it and he should be fixing it. As far as
No,
if he is
there's
fixing
some-
it or not, I don't
I
know.
can't remember the last email, but I feel like a week or two ago, there was some conversation between Jake and Silvio. I saw something coming through, so.
But I haven't even seen a truck move, like.
No, I haven't
this
seen any
there
activity
is-
down there.
Been there for months.
Working anymore, because
I know, I don't know.
I think that, they moved out of town, that they were living right there,
Yeah, they were living
they
down.
did with
Yeah.
that house.
but I think they moved out of town. So I
My
don't
brother
know.
wants to buy that building, so he
Maybe.
wanted to,
maybe they found another place to operate their trucks out of.
maybe.
I mean,
I'm curious also, by Bates, I think it was, there was a number of, not utility trucks, but like lawn care or tree trimming trucks that were there for like 2 months straight.
Hmm.
Right in Bates Scout Park. You guys ever see that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, they're in the
Yeah,
parking
they're
area by the
baseball
baseball
field.
field.
Yeah.
Like
It's
the
a
poison
bit of-
pins.
I think it's just tree trimming, they do all the tree trimming in the county and stuff.
oh, they work for consumers.
Yeah.
And they
Oh, that's
park
that
there.
one company.
Yeah, they were like every day I drove by, I'd see those like.
I think
4
they
or
were
5
just
trucks there.
meeting there and leaving the trucks there overnight.
Oh, yeah,
It's not a big deal if it's not during summer. It's during summer, then we got baseball games.
Yeah, then it's a real big.
Yeah,
and we never had any complaints or any issues. Dave
Yeah,
never
right
said
next to
anything.
Hoisington's right there.
I didn't know about it until now.
Neither. I think I saw it once, but I never thought anything.
Yeah, I think I saw it once
did
too.
we ever resolve anything about a area for commercial vehicles to park? I know that was just brought up as just a topic.
I don't think anybody ever.
But that was the semi,
I think
that
that,
was the.
but I think that's kind of another thing where we got one complaint about it.
One complaint about.
And then-
Every once in a while, like we go through like somebody driving truck and they'll leave it parked, overnight for a couple times and we just kind of quietly ask them not to park there and usually, we take care of it, but I mean, what we have for teeth, I'm not sure.
Do you, when you get somebody that calls with a complaint, do you have a log? Do you write down their name, number and what they called about?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
we keep track and I mean, for the most part, we don't like keep just like a log. We, like, if somebody calls and says something that Dave needs to take care of, we just give it to him. And then Dan, most of his calls go directly to him.
Sure, yeah.
So,
It would be nice sometimes to say, oh. We got this complaint, I remember getting 3 others, but they were maybe a month or 2 or 3 ago and be able to go back and
Yeah.
see, just,
we can work on that.
I imagine the number of complaints you get, we probably can keep track of them. Because you don't get too many.
I mean, that's,
I mean,
yeah,
we're a city of East Lansing or something,
no, I get it,
Yeah.
They just have a complaint department.
right,
Probably,
When I was first graduated. I
Isn't
bought
that what
a
your
house in
desk is?
Lansing.
I
Did
thought
brakes
so.
on my car. And they had them all done and everything and took it off Jack's hand there and just left it in the middle of the front yard. I said, well, I'm not gonna take it right after dark because it's pretty dark. I'll take it right in the morning, make sure I got everything right. Wake up next morning, take it right on my car. Can't park in your own lawn in East Lansing.
Yeah.
But it's because of the college students parking a bunch of vehicles in the car, their lawns.
too many parties I got sick of.
Yep. And I just dumped my brakes and was being responsible, and not checking them out after dark. It is what it is.
Yep.
Motion.
I make a motion to consider.
I'll second.
I make a motion to go to your house for brisket.
Yep, I second.
I'm going to.
All right.
thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Fantastic.
Yep.
I got some reading to do.
Yep.
We got us some reading to read, yeah.